Sorry about that. I was ready half an hour ago. I had to help with something. I will get intruded again in a few minutes. But yeah. So basically, um hopefully at this point your whoever comes by is actually aware about the fact that for the next that for that we've been promoting the 10th anniversary special Power Rider 10. Um hopefully um I can't say hopefully, but like, you know, um I appreciate um I appreciate that. Thank you, Green. But I appreciate that anyone was that has paid attention to the announcement so far. I am not dumb. I am fully aware that we're losing steam, and we have another month of announcements that need to get done. So, because only half of it's done. Well, I can't really um get into too much about that. Do I have the? Let me pop this up so then I don't have to constantly. I don't have to constantly fidget around with it, but yeah. For anyone that's here, is there? Let me. For anyone that's here, if by any chance you want to come by and just say like what you're looking forward to right now, or as of now for the anniversary, that is free to do. So, um, because I think what we're doing today was I think I originally was gonna do this last month, but then I couldn't because we didn't announce it, or like we didn't. I had to. I couldn't. It wasn't announced yet, or the anniversary special wasn't announced yet, so I couldn't do I couldn't do anything commemorative yet without like spoiling it. Whoops. So that's why um yeah, right. Thanks for bringing that up, Grid. But like yeah, so this was going to be to restate myself. So like this was planned for, I had this in mind for a while. Actually, it was supposed to be a video because that was the original plan for the Friday videos, but I think it would just be easier doing it as a stream. But yeah, again, Green, thank you for bringing that up. I think that's, I mean, yeah, that is kind of irresponsibility on my end, but at the same time, um, I think it is kind of nice that people are still excited for something that doesn't have a trailer. But that's just kind of because of factors that I can't get into because that's too early in production to speak about things like that. um, Certain people I understand why, but one big contributor is kind of getting on my nerves. So that's all I will say about that right now. But yeah, yeah, I'm hoping. Well, I mean, like, if more people were here, like, I would be asking, like, what you guys think this project is, as Green said, we technically have not put out any footage out yet. You've only seen teaser photos and not anything of anyone moving besides previously released stuff. So, why does this keep changing? That's so annoying. So today, we'll be looking at the best and worst of my entire career. um Basically, I mean, this is pretty simple, of a task. But it's also just, it was actually a lot more difficult to, like, kind of simmer down than I thought, because I thought of this immediately because of 2024's output. So with that, I had to figure out, well, okay, obviously it makes sense to do that for the rest of them, to which was actually hard. So, um, before we get started, I will run down of how we're critiquing these and such, because obviously the earlier years, I'm going to be fair about it and actually choose video. Like, there's, like, I mean, again, I'll, like, for example, I'll keep saying this, um, like, there might be, like, I'm not going to consider, like, oh, like, I don't look at back at that fondly, or like, oh, I cringe at that as worst. I feel like they're, like, for me to consider something the worst, it's more so, yeah, that was done very, like, I'm kind of doing it more in, like, my standard of quality, or, like, in a quality standard of, like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that now, or that's still an issue today, and that needs to get, like, changed and such. We're not gonna go, like, for example, with, like, 2015 or 2016. I'm not gonna consider something the worst just because I was like, oh, I'm kind of embarrassed by that, or, like, not embarrassed, but, like, oh, I don't act like that anymore, because I don't think that's really a fair uh point. I think it's more fair being like, yeah, this is bad in, like, my current standards, and, like, thankfully we've improved from that, or hey, we've actually still need to work on that. And then, as for what I consider the best, it's just more so of, like, I think this one's the simplest one out of the worst one, like, because I think best is more so, I can recall a lot of fond memories of like the process of doing it, or just like it's just something I was happy with overall and such. Like best will typically be like stuff that I feel that was like, oh yeah, this is spotless and such. Obviously, I have to advise this though. This is not of the video edits. The video edits will get their own best and worst of, because obviously we're still working through those re-edits and such. So that's what made this harder, because some of these videos wouldn't have been picked. If I was doing all around videos, definitely a lot of video edits would have taken up the best spot. So I think that's why this list was harder to put together, because I more so think about this with my video edits and not with like channel stuff. And speaking of channels, that was in plural. We're referring to both the main channel and second channel. So that'll mean either channel will be in the best or worst and such. It's not for each channel, because that's an issue with 2015, 2016, and 2017, because I didn't have a second channel at the time, because I was uploading those videos on different platforms. Like 2015, I was uploading the second channel, what would be second channel stuff on Tumblr. And then 2016 and 2017, I was uploading on VidMe. But then because, Tumblr, I transitioned to Twitter, and then VidMe obviously went down, so I relented and made a second channel. Anyways, let's go on with our first year. 2015. So, 2015 was our first year of YouTube. Not the first year that I started video editing, but video editing was in late 2014. I picked it back up within like summer of 2015 and such. So, with that, our worst video of 2015, the worst Power Writer video of 2015 goes to the next stage overview. This was a Christmas video that I did. There was the second entry of the Power Writer Overviews series after 2 months. After 2 months since Girls Be Ambitious, to which that one reached 10 years. I have something planned. I unfortunately couldn't fulfill it because I had to finish CSM Gaim. So the next stage overview is the worst for me, because I just remember struggling putting this one together. Or like just trying to come up with things to say. I want to play it, but I feel like it might transition. So let's try. Okay. So first of all, thing 2 is that this is the Power Writer 05 re-release, to which prior this the first 3 overviews, so the 2015 and 2016 overviews, were not up on YouTube until late 2019. Which is why it's titled as the Power Writer 05 re-release. But at the time, I don't think the Power Writer 05 did not get finalized. So we just have this text. So this one, I remember, so this one's also here too. So this one's here too, because I only have this one represented with one entry. However, the 2 days after, yeah, so as you saw from here, this was my Christmas video of 2015. But 2 days later, I did a revamp, or like a re-edit, a redux, I called it, 2 days later, because I was too conscious about the fact that I was giving off too much enthusiasm and such. Wait, what? Oh, right. Yeah, so this isn't the original version. Yeah, this is because this is one of the things I didn't like about this one. That I literally just played segments because I was like, I don't know how to play this out. Because I was just like, oh, okay. Jenna's casually walking down this path. So like I wasn't really given too much input to it. And keep in mind, this is the music video preview, not the full one. Yeah. This one doesn't. Again, this is the re-edit, so there's not really too much.
Before we get to the chorus, basically, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. That was the big issue with this video. Because it was just like, I'm not really coming up with anything to like talk about and such. And I think that's what got changed. So the second half got changed for the Redux. But even then, it's still bad. Because...
And I'm out was Merry Christmas. What I saw so far. So, there's nothing to talk about. It's just that casual of a music video.
I wouldn't say
Oh
casual.
no, I'm not saying this music video.
I probably should see my level. Okay. My levels, I think, are even, so.
Is bad or anything. It's just that the song doesn't live up to Girls Be Ambitious.
I
feel
mean,
like
that. Yeah, I definitely don't think that now. But yeah, so this one just doesn't really. There's just a lot of nothingness within this one in either version. I think Redux again was an attempt at being more like, hey, let's reel it back and like be monotone and such. Like, let's cut down the enthusiasm and just be like straightforward about it and such. So because like other than that, like again, there's like other videos on the channel that you can argue are worse, but it's just more of like, I don't know. I think there's at least some kind of charm. There's at least a charm to like the older stuff. This one is just kind of like it's a lot of nothing. Because then, speaking of going from nothing to something, our best video contender for 2015 is our Dino Charge More for All Sounds demo. Again, this one is not technically good, but I do remember the big selling point of this video just being me being super experimental with Premiere.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. So first round, get a favorite.
It's because of my niece. She likes Olive Garden. I still have yet to try Olive Garden. I remember... So, like, a lot of these things that are in this video, I remember being super ecstatic about, because I was like, oh my gosh, Look, I. Whoops. Because.
Oktoberfest at Fleet Farm is in its final fun-filled week. Stop in for...
Sorry. But, like, I remember. I need to find the original file. Or, not the original file. I need to look on my demo project. Because I still work on all the demos from this. All my reviews and demos have been on the same, like, Premiere file 10 years ago. For 10 years. I feel like this might be one of the... This probably was the sole time I've used a... I forgot, I got the laser pointer. What? Never mind. I don't know what happened. It, like, froze. But, like, I think this might have been the one sole time I used a color mat before I forgot how to use that function and started to have, and then I instead just started saving, like, black, white, or white or black backdrops before being retaught. Oh yeah, there's a thing called color mats. So then you don't have to save an image for that background. But yeah, I remember just like being so happy with myself. Like, look, I made an arrow. Look, I downsized this. And, like, look at that transition. Yep, that was a Sun Chips bag. Yep, that was a push. And, okay, so this was Premiere 2015? Or it was an older version. If I did not color match the text, I literally did it by eye, or I literally did it by approximation. I looked at the charger and just approximated from there. I don't think I color matched. But yeah, there's a lot of push text, or push. There's a lot of push transitions. And I remember, like, recording this one. I think this was one that I recorded. These were all individual takes, I think. But other than that, I remember specifically, this was like an entire folder of itself. Yeah, like, see, like, the Triceratops text doesn't really correlate. I still struggle with gold. I think I'm getting a bit better of, like, color matching gold, but, like, I still struggle. Yeah, we're using so much, because I remember, like, this is basically my big video learning about transitions. Because I remember, like, I couldn't comprehend the concept as to why sometimes the transitions didn't work. I think you can tell. I'm trying to find some of this. Where's my cursor? Yeah, because you can tell some of the transitions are faster. Yeah, okay. I remember that one. That one had problems. Okay, yeah. Yep, I remember that. Go Power Rangers. What was this train? Oh. Oh, what the heck? I could have. I should have watched this video fully to actually seen that, because I wished I got that accurately done for the first unboxing. Yeah, I literally shoved a tissue in there too. But yeah, other than that though, like, I think there's, I mean, like, obviously, like, by power up with healthy teeth. Toothpaste toy. Like, and like the ironic thing too, Green. I think there was like a toothpaste branded. I think Dino Charge did have like toothpaste branded products, but they never like came through with doing this or doing like an exclusive Dino Charger. But yeah, this one, like, I I think it's just more so like it's kind of cluttery. It's cluttery and a mess, but it's like, I think for me, again, it was kind of my interlude to having to learn how to use transitions in Premiere. So now, 2016. 2016 was the first turning point for ourselves, because we are working with the camera that we still are working with today, the Sony A500. This was, I mean, it was still my sister's, but she just ended up basically, like, I think for the first few years, or I think for these first 2 years, 2016 and 2017, I had to, well, not 2017. I had to go back and forth on like just asking her if I can borrow it constantly. Obviously, it annoyed her. And also, like, obviously, I think 2016 was just more so of like, I mean, 2016, like, I was actually talking to people by then, and like, had those people watch my stuff, but I won't get into more of that. Because, like, other than that, I'll say that the content was still the same, but like, it's still elevated in a way. But that's where it kind of became kind of, I will have to actually say 2016 was actually kind of hard to like come up with these two because I don't there's not a lot of 2016 videos that I feel very like about which is why our worst contender for 2016 our is the Power Rider update, video schedule, reviews, demos, and more. Yeah. So I chose this video update as the worst video because for one of my it was only just because it was a random video I decided to like listen through again, like right before I was gonna go to sleep, and like I think this is under the worst because it just feels like I was trying to egg people on for something, but it's also probably just because of when this was.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. So first round, get a favorite.
No, I don't want your pasta. There are so many ads. What the heck?
Hello, people. This is Power here with a monthly update video. So
I have to look at when this was released again to give you a prospect of what I was thinking. Because if this is what I think it is, it probably explains as to why I was saying the things I was saying. But I'll play it still.
we start. Okay, so this is actually the second take. So I basically just wasted 40 minutes.
Yeah, so this is also still one of the things I have an issue with. I keep re-recording update videos just because I'm never content with how I'm presenting it. This was November 4th. Okay. So, this is the start of my depression spiral. So, I won't get too much about it until 2017. So, I did a good job. So, I'll admit, I was doing a good job at. Oh no, I think it was at the end of November though that I like fully became depressed. But but this was kind of like,
And I was just thinking till the end. The
more
tone of the
so-
whole.
I think this was more of my like questioning phase of just like, jeez. I don't want to watch this.
Weekends, in all honesty, because they're kind of like. Not because I'm like, oh, the weekends, I get a break. No, it's just because, like. They just feel odd. And, yeah, again,
A lot of these things I didn't remember me feeling like that. Because like I mean I think it's still kind of true. But it's just more so like, I'm more so just like, oh, I mean for a while I initially had to free my weekends because at the time like Draken would be streaming on the weekends, so I didn't want to have that conflict of like, oh, unless obviously it's like, unless I am like covering, like, it's more so like I didn't really upload on Sunday or Saturday unless it was like, hey, I'm covering a lot of things from this toy line, so I need all the days I can. But other than that, I try to just keep it on like Monday through Friday.
They do kind of, especially Saturdays, because I'm trying to binge watch Dire Ranger right now, which is good, by the way. And it's
Yeah, also at that time too, this was actually when I was watching
4 chefs from St. Pete,
when I
Clearwater.
was actually watching
Delicious.
shows. So I had credibility back then.
But now, since I'm basically combining footage now, here's my rant on just watch. But
So this is a rant I had in the previous recording. It was basically me complaining about X8's serialized nature. I think that's the way I can put it together now. I was complaining about how serialized X8 was. But I'll admit too, I'm still in the opinion of like I still didn't really enjoy X8's first half. I actually was enjoying the show. I started enjoying the show after Kuroto died and like when they started obviously the mandated rewrites and such. I actually do prefer the show from that point on because I feel like I was liking what was happening more than like the first half, because I feel like I get like I mean I think now I kind of respect it, but like I remember like this is still like a valid opinion of mine, but like I found it really difficult like watching Xseed because all the characters were just like literal jerks to Emu. And it's supposed to be, so it's just like M keeps getting like kicked down to the ground by everyone else because they're like, well, like what are you supposed to be and such. And it just happens. So like that's like literally like the first those were like literally like the first 10 episodes of the show. And it wasn't until Kiria was like, hey, maybe we can be partners and such. And then Kiria died. So it was just like M just like suffers so much. Or like M goes through so much because no one wants to like just listen to him. So in this rant, I was complaining about the Sakamoto episodes for when Snipe and Laser debuted and such, because at the time I didn't even know it was Sakamoto, but it makes a lot more sense now because obviously he was working on Heisei Generations. But like yeah, basically I was complaining about why there was like action scenes within Snipe's episode, and I think I don't know what I was saying about. I think with Laser's debut, I was just like, oh, like why couldn't they've like waited to debut Gem Shakuriki Sports to the next episode, so then we didn't have to deal with. So then it didn't get overshadowed by Gekitotsu Robots debuting and such. I think stuff like that. Because like I think I was just saying like I was just kind of saying like, well, like I enjoyed the superhero time between Ghost and Geolger, and now with the superhero time between X and Geolger, I'm only enjoying Geolger and such. Because again, I mean, like I think at the time too, I was trying to like rebel out a bit against the fandom just because obviously like everyone was obviously trashing on Ghost, and obviously like everyone was like, oh, like look, like X8 is so much better. Cause like I mean I think it's still pretty bad nowadays where you can't. Well, no, I think people are at least allowed. I think people are allowed to now because I've been seeing obviously like no one talks about Zets, but like but with Zets like people are just kind of not really. Zets is just kind of like it exists, but like no one really wants to like talk about it and such. But like I remember like back then like you can't like with a news show that like everyone collectively is enjoying, you can't say like anything negative about it because then you would just get blocked and like blacklisted and such for like speaking negatively about or just speaking in any sense of negativity about a show that everyone in the fandom likes and such because you're viewed as the bad guy even though it's like even though it's just like well like right now I just feel like it's not I feel like I'm not really enjoying it kind of thing. But yeah, that's basically that. Cuz then 2 months prior, the best video, the best contender of 2016 will have to go to Power Unboxes, the birthday overload plus mini unboxing. This one, again, I have a fond memory of, and I still think it's probably one of the best deals Reichen and I have gotten. This one has got like this video contains one of like the most outrageous deals Reichen and I managed to like get because earlier in the month HLJ was having a sale on Drive stuff. So as you can see from the thumbnail, I think all the tire Kokon figures were $8. All the tire Kokon figures were like $8 a piece. Same with the handle Ken. The Formula Pit Crew set or the Formula Shift Car set was $3. The Ghost, the movie Ghost icons were full price at $16. However, the reason why we decided to settle on this was because Draken found the trailer hoe new, mind you, for $2. So we had to jump on this sale. And this is the first proper big unboxing.
At Olive Garden, we've spent years perfecting every cheesy twirl and saucy swirl.
Yum, 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 yum. Hello, people. This is Power here with the unboxing. I don't know what I'm going to put this. Monday, probably. I don't know. Anyway, so here's an unboxing video of a huge... Oh, quick story. So there was like this massive sale on Drive, Ninja, and Ghost stuff on HLJ. Most of this stuff is Drive stuff. I don't know what the Ghost stuff most of them were $5. So I think the Deep Slasher was on there at the time. It's that thing. Yeah. So I don't know how it was unboxing. Obviously, the thing that makes this one iconic too is that you can hear. Oh, whoops. You can hear a fire alarm going on, or not fire alarm, a smoke alarm going off. At the time, my mom was cooking, food for us, and such. But like, it was also at the time that we actually used the oven a lot. I think the food was starting to get burnt, but like, cause like I rushed downstairs cause I just came back from school. I was I was starting 7th grade. I was starting 7th grade. So, I rushed downstairs, recorded it, but then like I knew immediately of like, oh shoot, the the smoke alarm is going off, but so like it was just more like, okay, but like I really want to like get into this and such. So it's just, I don't know, I feel like it like brings the atmosphere. What is this? Spice?
Observability goes way beyond dashboards alone. It's
Okay.
about real world.
Hello, people. This is. I would do individual videos with these probably.
Yeah, we did.
But oh my gosh, here's the stuff. Anyway, what should we
I
look
don't
at first?
remember. I don't even know if Zyken remembers how much this costs.
Okay.
Ship.
Oh my gosh, it's everything. Look
But
at
I
that.
don't know. Like looking at this, I mean, looking at that, it's like I hope he didn't pay expensive shipping for it, because that was a lot of packing.
Let's look
Because I
at
feel like this could have been the case where they could have picked a smaller box.
these figures first. So here's a tire set too.
So, again, like I won't
Comes with
get
a
into
massive
too much
monster,
detail about it,
Justice
but
Hunter,
like
and
I
Punky
was
Spike.
someone
condition.
courteous did get me
Tire set
type
0
speed the month
to
before,
TK tire Coke on 04, I believe.
and
Oh, no.
Zyken got me shift fruits or type
Motion
fruits
Chaser
the month before.
TK06. Sorry, I'm throwing these. The Formula tire Formula Chef car set. Ooh. The
So I
Car
primarily got
Ghost,
the set because
Dark
I
Ghost,
liked the Dark
Napoleon,
Ghost.
Darwin Ghost.
I still
icon
think
set.
Dark Ghost is probably one of the
Yeah.
cooler looking, or probably like up there of my favorite like Dark Riders. Probably like top
The old
5
sandal
with
head.
like Dark Kiva.
Nah, box is bent. Well, it comes with Type Wild. And it's a sword. Whoa. And as you guys see from there, oh my gosh, this is hefty. The trailer hoe with shift formula. Oh my gosh, this thing has another pin system too. I love this box. I love it. So this thing costs
Yeah.
$5.
Oh, 5.
This
Okay.
thing costs $8.
Yeah, I think I'm confusing it with the Formula Shift car set.
This
Again,
thing
that
was
was
the cheapest
$3.
thing. It was $2.
Yeah, okay, that was $2. But yeah, the trailer hoe was $5. New.
These two costed $4 together, so those were actually
Oh.
$4 each. So those were $8. Motion Chaser was $8, I believe.
Okay.
And the most expensive thing out of this box is this thing, because this is full retail price.
Yeah, green it is.
That is basically
Like, not even like the later stuff I've gotten were that low. Like the fact in 2016 getting the trailer hoe for $5 new, like that, like I think that's probably like one of the best deals within within the channel's entire history. I think that's why like the trailer hoe is like a special. I think that's why for all the stuff we've covered, I think that's why the trailer hoe is like has a special place in me, because of the fact that we got it for such a good deal. And now we can't necessarily get those deals without paying exorbitant shipping on. Like, I mean, there's been other stuff I've gotten good deals on. I think that'll be something that'll be fun to go over again. But yeah, the second half of this is just me covering this
Darwin.
icon set.
oh my gosh, I'm
I think these were my first DX Ghost icons.
sorry. I'm really sorry.
No.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah, technically. I think these technically were my first standard. What the heck is that motorcycle? These were my first standard DX Ghost icons, but my first DX one was Deep Specter.
Napoleon. The icons of TK set. Sick. Guys.
Because, yeah, because the month before, or like, in August, Draken got the, like, Ghost Change candy toy set and Gashapon 15, which is why I have the rare Tokon boost. And
Dark Ghost.
do I still have that Ore? I think I still have that Ore Ghost icon.
Dark Ghost.
It was. I almost hit my mouth. I gave away a candy toy bank I got from Taka. Yeah. But yeah, that will have to do with 2016. 2017 was a really bad year for me. Again, as I've said before, I went through severe depression to the point that I actually, like, I was still recording things up until April, but I was so depressed that I lost the motivation to, like, even upload because I was too afraid that people would assume that me uploading videos would have been, like, considered a cover up and such. And, like, I'll say, like, I take full responsibility for what I went through and such. So obviously, like, I'm not trying to play like the victim. I'm at fault for what happened to me. So um, so yeah, basically, I mean, this entire, like, depression cycle was kind of like my own karma against me and such. However, this video for what we are going to consider the worst has nothing to do with that. Our worst contender is going to be weirdly worded. But yeah, that's just to kind of explain as to why, like, I uploaded things. So yeah, I uploaded for the first 2 months. I recorded stuff for I still continued to record stuff for February, March, and April, but then, like, I stopped in May and June, and I think I came back. I think I felt ready by July. I think that's how that went. Was I starting? No, I was in. What grade was I in? Was I starting high school? No. Yeah, I don't remember. No, because I was in sophomore year. Yeah, I was in sophomore year. um, so our worst contender for 2017 goes to SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Cho Dead Heat Drive review. It doesn't help too that this is the second version of the video, because if you don't recall, there is an original version of this one. But let me copy the link. Because this one, again, is going to be kind of weird as to why it's in the worst. Hello, guys. I don't even know how this mic works. Try this mic. I never try the headphone mics. Let me turn down because I'm apparently peaking. Or wait, can we? Oh wait, I had it muted. No wonder why. But oh wait, I need to hear this. Oh, let me mute the desktop. Yeah, so unfortunately, the thing with my actual like mic I use is that for some reason it has the issue of sometimes I have this issue a lot with like when I have to play games. I don't know why I'm still holding it. Is yeah, it's not gonna pick up. So I have to restart my computer if I actually want to have it work again. So this is gonna be so I apologize for this. But, yeah, sorry about that, Green. I'll have to restart. so So okay, I'll restart. So basically, I'll have to. So I think from what I was able to gather, it cut off at the end point of 2016 recap. So I'll try to. So I'll try to re-explain 2017. 2017, I was like my de- that was when like my depression really hit because I had a really I had a really like destructive fallout with people with the with people I like was with, and like I will take 100% accountability for the fallout and such just because obviously of my immaturity at that time because I was just simply kind of doing what they were kind of expecting of me and such, and like it was kind of my fault that I did keep up that instead of just being like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing like, because I was like really self-aware about the fact that I shouldn't be doing that stuff, but it was just more like, but these people like that, so I guess I have to keep it up for them. I'm constantly checking the mic because it's saying that I'm constantly peaking. So I'll just lower the volume so then I'm not constantly peaking. Guys, so see, we're in an actual lecture. But so yeah, I was like, so basically 2017, I think I started uploading videos as usual. Like, but like at that point, I couldn't really mask the fact that there was something wrong with me. So like I went complete silent from March to like June. However, I don't know, Green. Am I constantly peaking? Because I'm not looking at the bars anymore. Jeez. But I mean, I'm in the yellow, so I think that we're fine. So then, like, I was still filming things from March, or from like the end of February through like April, but then I just stopped altogether by like May and June. And I think I came back in July because I think at that point that was like 1 month in from summer vacation and such. So this contender for the worst video has, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do about that stuff. I just want to kind of like give context as to like what I was going through within 2017 and such. So the worst video, or the worst video of 2017 goes to my review for SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Show Dead Heat Drive. What I was trying to look at before, what I was trying to show before, is that the reason why this one's in the worst contender, despite it just being a normal, average um, review, is because this was the first review that someone actually decided to give me constructive criticism for. And I wanted to show you guys what they've had to say about it because they are not wrong. So hopefully it shows up here. But let me nope. Okay. So oops. Okay, you guys can see it. Okay, that's good. Let me open the tab up again and open this up. Sorry. I'm gonna keep bumping into the mic, unfortunately. So, what? I wish it had the date. Nope, no date. But basically, if I were to read this out, I apologize to this person for not asking their permission for sharing this comment, but you can uh right. But like if you have any problems, if this particular person, if they still watch me and you have an issue with me showing your comment off, then I will trim this. But basically, their comment read off from Makoto Waru 8877. It read off as, "Dude, just a suggestion. Please get more lights. It's too dark to see any details. You got an alright setup, but the dimness is bothering me. Also, try to keep the figure reviews concise. There's no reason for this type of review to be 20 minutes long." Green, I'll get to your comments. And then I replied with, again, it's because I was still going through it. I replied with, "Sorry for the late reply. I didn't notice this. Anyways, I'm trying to get more lights or even new lights, but right now I'm focusing on other things, such as changing the setup. Also, I apologize. I'm still figuring out a way that my figure reviews don't take 20 minutes. You're not the only one that feels bothered. I just tend to talk a lot, and I couldn't find a way to shorten it. I appreciate the comment though." And I still end things off like that. Because I mean, I think this is a big flaw with me because I remember saying this to Draken a lot, but like I like being really precise or not precise, but like I like trying to bring up as much as I can with with a product. What the heck? No, Unreal, stop it.
Look like dead heat, but it works and how the movies does it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, whoops. We whoops. We're not there yet. Okay, whatever. But basically, well, for this one, I think it's been 2 years since I reviewed a figure art, and I really wanted to cover this figure because Show Dead Heat Drive is one of my favorite drive forms. I really like Dead Heat. Or Dead Heat's my favorite form from Drive, so I wanted to have, obviously I'm going to like Show Dead Heat and such. But yeah, it's just, I mean, the biggest issue is just like, again, it's a lot of pauses and just trying to like, it's just stumbling through of like, um, what else do I want to add? And it's also just because of my conclusions are really long. Because I have like, my conclusions can either go from like 3 to 5 minutes or like 10 to 30 minutes or even an hour or like 10 to like 40 minutes and such. It's not as like, I mean, we still have an issue with really long run times and such. But yeah, like Green is kind of right with how, because of how much the algorithm has changed in favoriting long form content and such, because obviously at the time, like at this time, you needed your content to be as short as possible and such, which is why like, and like at this point too, I was kind of being experimental of like, because I think in, Well, it was in 2016 that I finally got permission to get verified. Because before, I know in 2015 I was like denied of like, no, you don't need to go on. You don't need to post things more than 15 minutes and such. But I finally like, my siblings finally relented and verified my account. but but I didn't really do too much for I didn't do too much. So like this one was only so loud. Yeah, this one was only like 24 minutes. So it's not too bad.
Hello, people. This is Power here with the
And plus,
review
again, it's
of
kind
the
of broken
SH
up
Figure Arts
and
Power
such.
Rider Show Dead Heat Drive, or what this says, Super Dead Heat Drive. And as you can tell from the pack,
Cause like, yeah.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. So first round, get your go-to. Second, have
You need more pasta.
trim.
But yeah, cause Dragon beforehand got type wild. So, cause this was, yeah, this is my second dry figure art. Yeah, cause Dead Heat's right here.
Oktoberfest at Fleet Farm is in its final
Also,
fun-filled week. Stop in for
This was during the rare time that HLJ actually sold premium Bandai stuff.
I don't get why. Bert.
That's how I was able to, or that's how Draken was able to.
And
Today's stream is actually sponsored by Olive Garden.
they're
So-
completely different.
Yeah, basically. Again, I'm not like. It's just more so like this is not necessarily like a bad video, but it's just more so of like I appreciate someone, decided to like. Someone was actually at least willing to give me like some peace, or not peace of my mind, but like just like actually trying to be like actually help push me forward and such. So yeah, it's a weird reason why this is in the worst category when it's kind of like middle of the road. But again, I appreciate the person that has commented that because I still keep that comment to heart and such. But yeah, our best video of 2017 is our unboxing, which technically nowadays would be called an opening, on the Yokai Watch and Win sweepstakes prize. Because, well, first of all, this is where I learned the mistake of, hey, don't delete assets while you're exporting. Because I had a black bar to censor my address. When I was exporting, I was like, oh, I don't need this black bar. I deleted it. And then, like, it aired out. And I was like, oh, what did it air out on? And, like, I didn't know. It wasn't until I uploaded the video, I was like, oh, shoot, my address. I don't even think I still don't think I went back and fixed it, unfortunately. But yeah, this one was funny because I entered this at the end of 2016, and then I got a text from my sister in April, and like she was confused because she was like, "Hey, you got something in the mail," and I was like, "What do you mean?" Because she was like, "Did you order anything?" I'm like, "How? How can I?" And then like she like felt around it and she was like, "I think this is one of your medals." And I was like, "All right." So this was a thing Okay.
Hello, people. This
So
Carter here with
this was a thing that had I mainly entered this because it came with the Hovernyan medal that was actually exclusively given out to moviegoers. But obviously, I didn't have a movie theater close enough to me, so obviously I wasn't going to be able to go. Also, just because we're not really people that go out to movies. I've only went out to one movie theater because it was a field trip. So, and that was in 2016. Yeah, I'm not going to show that. But so I entered this
What?
because oh my
Huh?
hamburger
For
helper.
Oh no.
dinner.
How'd I let dinner sneak up on me?
I pulled this out. I'm like, if it focuses.
So this was limited to 1,000 people or 10,000. But like this was basically the entry that a lot of people could have like basically if you entered in like basically it was more so like hey, if you enter this in, you're kind of guaranteed to win. So I was like, sure. There's like other higher tiers where you could have actually gotten like some product. And then there was at one point like the highest tier one was like, oh, you can get announced, you can get summoned via the Yokai Watch. But other than that, um I think that was kind of it. Because I think the lower tier was just or it was either that you can get a happy birthday message or you can get a summoning jingle. I think that's how it went. But obviously I just went for this one because I wanted the medal.
As you
Go.
How much more is this gonna dox me? But
Green by getting clean car happy at Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Washing your car at home.
can see.
I don't even get these ads. Because Zyken got premium like 3 months ago, but I don't know why through PowerPoint it ignores that.
It's kind of weird, but I'm gonna be. And
And I still have this stuff. It's to my left. It's it's on my bookshelf.
a world 8 a.m. on TV, Netflix.
Yeah, guys, remember when Yokai Watch was a thing?
Oh. His
Because like
This is
obviously like so
holograph.
obviously
Okay.
I wanted Hoverion because he's a Common Rider reference. So
Slowly insert.
because that's obviously supposed to be a Typhoon belt.
And that's
But yeah,
basically it.
I got a wholesome comment on this one too, of just someone like saying like, "Oh, I won this too," and it's like, "Oh, cool." But yeah, like like this one is just like I think the again, it's like a very middle of the road video, but it's like I think this one I have a more soft spot on just because the backstory of this one was pretty funny. 2018. So 2018, we've actually have started. I mean, 2018, we're still kind of dealing with depression. However, no, I was a sophomore then.
Yeah, I was a sophomore for the first, or I was the first half of 2018. I was finishing my sophomore year. Then I became a junior at the second half. So, yeah, the second half of 2018 started becoming better, but like I think the first half was still kind of rough. Speaking of rough, the worst contender of I don't even know I can actually watch this one. The worst contender of 2018 is Howard Howard Curator's Georgia work. This is my first quote unquote collab video with Jane of Toku Topics because at the time she wasn't um she wasn't really doing much on her channel, and like she was still trying to like figure out like ideas to do for it and such. But like the way this came around was so random because I came up with this when I had to do the mile run for gym in like the beginning of the month or the beginning of January, or was it? I think it was the beginning of the year. Yeah. So I just cuz like I was trying to figure out a way to like, because I think at this point too, this is when I was like considering doing or considering opening a second channel. So I was like, "Oh, what's like we should probably have something new for the channel." But at the time, like I mean, this is what always happens when it's something like not really what I typically do. I always kind of like off ship it somewhere cuz I'm like, "Oh, this wouldn't work on the main channel." And then I knew for the second channel, it wasn't made at the time. So I was just like, "Oh, well, this wouldn't really work either." But it'll work on Jane's channel because it's a Toku topic. So literally, I think when I came back from school, I immediately sent Jane a message through her original Twitter account, Fighter Ranger 335, and I was just like, "Hey, are you interested? Hey, are you interested on doing a like channel takeover kind of concept or a collab where like um because like I mean at the time too it's like there was kind of no stakes. Both of our channels were kind of in the same both of our channels were in the same like numbers and such. This was way before like Jane like got her success through Lightning Storm. So like she was up for it and such. And I think the only like we discussed about like how like what sequences we should do. I think technically the only written stuff were Jane's portions, because the reason why this is the worst why I'll say this is the worst video, because the thing too is that I if you couldn't tell, I mostly edited this one. I had Jane fix up one thing of my edit, which was that I forgot to like cut off audio somewhere or at the beginning, but like other than that, I edited this entire video, sent it over to Jane, and then like she uploaded it on her channel and such. But I don't want to. This is one I don't want to like actually like watch through because it's so bad. I need to make sure that this is still working properly. Okay, but yeah, it's really bad because this was completely unscripted. This is when I was still like this is when the overviews were still completely unscripted. I had a mental idea of what I wanted to do, of what I wanted, how I wanted it outlined, but like I did not write anything down. I was going off of speculation. I was going off of like it was mainly it was less it was not really too much of this crossover. The topic of this crossover happens in like the last 3 minutes. Most of it was, oh, where's the cast now? And it was just like it felt like a really bad excuse of just talking about like, oh look, this actor did this actor did that. It's like it was really bad. Which is why when it was done, or like when we got it out and such, it was just more so like, hey, let's make the next one an actual collaboration. As opposed to just like, cause like, right, yeah, yeah, Green, you're right, because you started off by talking about the Gokaiger crossover and the like episode 2000. Was it episode 1000 or 2000? I don't remember. But like, yeah, it's like I don't know. Let's watch the intro. Jane's parts were well. I don't know if we are allowed to show. I don't know. I just want to be. I want to be safe. Like I mean I don't think Jane is necessarily gonna have an issue with us showing her like previous like her stuff before her transitioning, but like I want to be respectful and not um I want to be respectful and just not show that because again I don't have permission. So um I remember making this thumbnail though. Yeah, exactly. Green. Like I mean like Green, like I don't think anyone will like blame us for doing that because that like because like the my what we're gonna talk about next, our best video of our best video of 2018 has to be our overview on a music video that Tsukiyomi's actress appeared in. Because Green, I will tell you this. Well, like everyone, but like, you're the only one here. Like my overview series was kind of supposed to be also like a channel awesome adjacent like style, but I was more basing the overviews kind of on well, okay, like, it was kind of confusing because I was kind of more because of the fact obviously I wasn't going to originally the series I was not supposed to be on camera at all. But that happened later. That happens I first appear in front of camera like 4 years into this series. But like this series was supposed to be more of an adjacent to like the like what Doug will typically do with like Disney Sember and such. But it was just more so like, oh, how do I try to like convey visuals? How do I try to convey wanting like talking about this video with visuals or like with no with the minimum visuals. So this one we can actually watch. I remember how proud I was of doing that. I this one has yeah, this one's copyrighted. So we'll watch the recap section because at this point the recap sections these recap sections were kind of like the selling point.
Exactly, Shiriohata. Now, who the heck is Shiriohata? Well, Shiriohata, the actress that portrays Tsukiyomi, or
Oh,
Tsukiyomi, or Tsuyomi if you're really lazy.
What?
Yeah, we get it. Tsukiyomi is a part of this resistance from the year 2068, which are trying to take down the almighty Oma Geo, who's, I don't know what he's exactly doing, he's just destroying.
This was 2 months into Geo, by the way. So we were in the Gaim arc.
The world. So it's up to her and her friend Gates, to go back to the year 2018 to meet a younger version of the king, because that makes sense. And Tsukiyomi tries to persuade the younger version to not become Geo, but she fails. Tsukiyomi's an inconsistent character in which, like, she just, ponders around on her life, and she's either like, maybe he is Omageo, maybe he's not Omageo. And, like, she just does nothing. So why exactly are we focusing on her then? I don't know, because it's fun to make fun of her.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, I don't know, like, my relation with Tsukiyomi is weird because, like, she was kind of a like, I still am, like, I still do agree, like, her character doesn't get to do much, but I feel like that's what makes her kind of endearing. But because, like, I guess in a sense, like, she's kind of like a mopey cat. Just like that's what I mean. I feel like that's also just like how she was directed. Yeah, those rumors were pretty dumb to the point that well, this is a spoiler, but like, or I mean, not necessarily a spoiler, but like, I ran with that rumor. Not necessarily ran with it, but I ran with that myth. It's not even a myth. I just ran with it with my school projects. Because I was like, sure, let's make Geo the queen. Yeah. What else?
Let's just get to the music video.
Okay. So, like, I mean, I think, I don't know. Can I, like, admit that, like, I mean, I think it was just more like, I don't want to say it was necessarily this, but it was just more of like, I feel like I wanted to, like, kind of, like, purposely pigeonhole myself as, like, oh, I'm gonna be, okay, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be the Tsukiyomi girl, because, because of, like, I kind of figured, like, from everything we were getting of her, I'm like, she's not gonna get much, or she's not gonna be able to, she's not gonna be given much material in the show, isn't she? Like, so I kind of just wanted to purposely be, like, the, like, I don't know why I was gonna say hype girl, but, like, I want to be, like, the Tsukiyomi hype man. Of, like, yeah, Tsukiyomi, look at her, like, look what she's doing. Look at her just standing there. Like, I feel like she's a character that's definitely mismanaged, but, like, I still think, like, she's still, like, that's why, like, I mean, like, that's why I'm still just kind of, like, always going, like, Tsukiyomi best girl. Even though this show does such a huge disservice towards her, but I want to get to one of the weirder, well, not weirder parts. One of the parts I enjoyed editing. What is this part? What did I say
He
here?
was watching.
Oh. Where is... I want to find this part. Because, like, I had... Oh, okay, but, like, I will say this, too. I'm not going to play it. I definitely had... This is definitely where I improved on the credits. Even though this is clearly a... This is not the right line to use. This is an underline. Was it at the end? No, it was in the middle. Why did I mention this movie?
Brendan, because we haven't seen Hasty Generations forever, and if we know from that, the Kamen Riders don't exist, so this is...
That was like... This... Okay, I found it. I think ultimately the direction this series went is kind of the reason why I decided to, like, end it. Because originally this series just started off as me talking about my general, like, thoughts so far of what I was thinking of, like, the next Kamen Rider Girls music video. But then it became, hey, let's talk about these music videos that these Toku actresses... oh gosh. Let's talk about these music videos that these Toku actresses... Oh gosh. These Toku actresses are in. But that's because with the first one, that's because, like, everyone was, like, talking. The entire Twitter timeline was talking about, like, guys, Haruka Tetsu's in this music video. Like, we gotta all watch it. And I was just like, okay, then I'll one up you guys and make a video talking about it. And that's kind of how this new direction started. So at this point, it was just kind of like really straining of, like, not straining, but, like, I think this video was kind of like, this is it. Like, or I think this is probably like, hey, like, this video probably, like, was like a nice way of concluding that line of, like, hey, let's talk about music videos that these Toku actresses participated in, and, like, try to find really bad ways of cramming in references to the shows that they are in. Because this is, I mean, this is, like, I think an example of...
Wonder what she was watching.
Okay.
Makes...
Okay. Yeah, okay, I remember. This is because the edit version of that one didn't have the RPG Maker music. That's why I was thrown off. Okay. But yeah, that was my first attempt at actually attempting to blend footage from another. But, like, I still, like, I probably could have done a better job. I probably could have put in, like, a filter, or like a, like, screen to actually make it look like it was actually from a window. Then just simply increasing the brightness, I think, what happened. But I at least went through the effort of... You can see, like, the brightness actually, like, transitioning. This should have been the 2018 re-edit. Because... Oh, I mean, we did Shishi Red Orion, so... Alright, 2019. 2019 was kind of the runner-up. Not runner-up, but this is definitely the year that we actually started. Oh, I mean, it was 2018. But, like, it was 2018 that we were, like, starting to like, collectively, like, buy up toy lines as they air, or, like, as these shows air. So, like, for example, 2018 was Loop Pat and Rube. 2019 was Geo. And personally, I kind of didn't really know what to pick for 2019's worst contenders, so we got Power unboxes. This burden is actually terrible. Featuring Draken. um, I think, I think just to make this kind of simple, um, I think I don't know. It was just more so like, I don't know. This can be heard. I think it can be heard. That's getting picked up. Yeah. Sorry about that. But basically, trying to find it, but basically, I think it was just more so my attitude, or like my attitude towards Raikid, because I think this like I was kind of pushing him a bit, because I was just like, because like things are taking off and such, so it was just more so like, and I had a plan for this, all for this geo stuff, because I was again planning on trying to incorporate them into school projects. So, but like Dragon was just kind of like, whoa, like maybe we should like actually try slowing down and such. But I was like, come on, like I want to, I just want to get this ready for next year, or for like the upcoming school semester and such. And I think I chose this one in particular just because of like, because I think this one's like the embodiment of that internal, that those internal conflicts and such, because like I know Zarkin wasn't really too happy with like us like always forking over Mandarake just to like complete everything and such. I because again the opening of this one is like the biggest contender, just because I think we had to redo the opening and something, and like I don't know, I like gave off like such an attitude. I mean, I think the thing too, it's literally just cause like I think the way I said it, cause it was just more so like I think I wanted Draken to take charge for this part, but then he just didn't, because this was mainly his stuff. Cause he did this order for this one, but then he also decided to get Proto Drive, even though at that point I was kind of done buying the entire. I was done getting gimmick figures just because I was like, well, we got RKFs and such, but we primarily he primarily did this order for this, and then but then like I think he just pushed me, or he made me do this as opposed to, because this was the video that I was referring to, I think last year, when I said that I wanted that we were supposed to swap spots. So like, because the person that's obviously behind the camera is like, that's the main person, like that's the person that's mainly that the package was for, or that like was the reason why the package was like made. Unless it's obviously sometimes too it's just because like obviously I'm the one that's running the channel. But like in the cases like this is the video I wanted to introduce us swapping like places and such, for to designate, so then the viewer knows like, okay, this package is mainly this person's and such. But like he just refused to like take the spot, so I had to take the spot. I think that's how that went. To which then, in a weird turn of events, our best 2019 video will have to go to the opening for the DX Rube Gyro Mitsurugi Saki model. This one's also really simple too. It was just because this is actually one of the very few videos I filmed home alone. Because this is actually in like a really interesting period where it was just me and my two older brothers and like my mom too. So it was like really interesting. And because I think Zriken was at work, or he was working, and my oldest brother I think was going to pick him up. So I came back home all alone, and I did the unboxing for this. I filmed several unboxings in this period by myself or just home alone, and it was like really interesting. But
Oktoberfest at Fleet Farm is in its final fun-filled week. Stop in for big deals.
Oh, people, this is Power here with an opening, not an unboxing.
was this the first one to finally put that down? But
Monster Heroes Expo Crystal, the Grudia Crystal, and the Zophie Crystal. Even though I probably should have showing this,
but yeah, other than that, like this one, I don't really have too much as to why it's the best one, but it's just more so like, it's just like because I think 2019, like, I mean, 2019 I think was like a fine year and such, but I don't think it's definitely a year that didn't have anything outstanding, even on the second channel. Uh, because yes, the second channel was setting up for the 5th anniversary, but like, I'm not, I'm not too like proper Kagegurui was not really. Again, that one's like a middle of a road thing, especially for something different. It's just not like it's not necessarily. It's not one that I can really say it's the best. And I'm pretty sure there's other videos I missed, but I just chose this one just I guess for sentimental value, unfortunately. 2020. So obviously, as I said before, 2020 was the 5th anniversary of the channel, Power Rider 05. As we know, this was mainly a second channel celebration, or the celebration was mainly on the second channel, and not the main channel. Again, only got like a month. The main channel got the entirety of September to celebrate it, to which we would show. But the second channel the second channel primarily held the celebration for Power Rider 05 from again the end of December with oh, that makes so much sense. Did my hard drives get unplugged? No, they're still connected. They're just I don't know. But yeah, basically Power 05 started at the end of December, and then it then got several videos got released during that time that were previously exclusive to, or that were either exclusively on VidMe, that most of them that I was able to recover, or that I still had and didn't delete, or they were just sitting in my Google Drive and such. But yeah, overall, like I'll still say like I mean like yeah, I get it. There was a pandemic going on during 2020, but like cuz I mean we had like some bad videos. A lot of contenders would have been a lot of unboxings where I was just complaining or where I was venting out about like my siblings about like the situations in terms of the channel and such. But I mean, like honestly, yeah, that is kind of my fault. like, like my sister wasn't wrong about it, but it was just more so like, I mean, I think it was just more so like, hey, like we made this deal, and I'm trying to fulfill that deal, but you keep cutting that deal off and such. I think that's how I'll summarize it and such. Like I wasn't trying to well, I mean, I think the big issue too was that like we were still kind of not ex I want I mean, I guess you can say excessively. But like we were still like buying at that point 0-1 and like just trying to catch up with like at that point I was trying to catch up with like multiple toy lines at that point. But other than that, our worst video for 2020 is not actually anything of Power Raider 10 because it's the mini view for SNSD Horror Movie Factory. So this was an attempt of the mini view series is the successor, excuse me, of the overviews because 2020 was supposed to be the final year for the overviews. I was not able to finish that plan because a lot of people ghosted me. So, reasonably so. Um, so this was an attempt to. So the mini views were an attempt to be a shorter, condensed versions of the overviews. This one is considered the worst for the year because I fabricated it. So, like, basically, I had to rush this video out because I was like, oh shoot, I want a Halloween video. But I've only seen up to 2 episodes of this show. I've only seen I think I've only actually seen the actual horror movie Factory, which I think was only the first 2 episodes. I've only watched through the first 2 episodes of this, realized I can't watch through this entire show and not get the video done. So I unfortunately just read summaries of like the latter episodes and just called it my own opinion, and it's like that is not acceptable. That is just not acceptable at all. You should not do that. If you are going to talk about a show, actually watch through the show and such. That's why I have to phrase whenever or whenever, obviously with like Toku, obviously I haven't watched a lot of it since 2020. So like that's why I have to preface like what I have specifically seen, and that I'm like open about the fact that I've not watched X show that I'm covering the toys for, but I'll still at least do like I mean at least now I'll go through the effort of like researching and just like making sure like hey, this thing happened in the show, so let's show that off and such. Or like I'll like I mean, I think that's still an issue. But like I'm not just saying but like I mean like yeah, I'll do research about like the shows I have not watched, but like I won't but my opinion is not on the show, it's on the toy. I think that's where I'll have to like place it and such. We'll watch the intro at least. That was on After Effects. After Effects. We had a minute-long montage on Hello Baby? Oh my gosh. Anyways, the best video of 2020 is, of course, the review on the Sengoku driver. This one was fun putting together. This was probably one of the very earliest videos that where I actually did it. I worked on it prior it getting released, because if you've not watched the opening on the Sengoku driver, I received that thing in July. I recorded all the Power Order 05 stuff in July and August, and then it got released in September. So I think Power Order 05 is like probably one of the very first batch of videos where I actually recorded them months in advance, and then they got released later and such, which again I think is a lot smarter to do and such.
At Olive Garden,
So
we've
we will
spent
just
years
watch
perfecting
this.
every
We won't
cheesy
watch
twirl
it,
and
but we
saucy
will
swirl. So where do
skim through this one. Yep, another thing we took from Geo. Well, not the sound. Obviously, Power Order 05 is a reference to Super Junior 05. To the point I tried to style it like such. This was really hard trying to do. Because I was trying to... So, the original plan was that... So, because I didn't know how masks worked at the time, so I was trying to make it within the screen, but then I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get the transitions to work at the time because I didn't know how to make... It's not that I didn't know how, but I did not use nested sequences at the time. Yeah, cause like the last, so like obviously like 2018 to 2020, it was really like difficult to try. Like I had to make sure that like I chose 3 distinct backgrounds, so then it looked different from each other. And this was all green screened, by the way. This is probably my best green screening.
This is Power here with a review of the
Like,
DX Sengoku driver.
cause like I remember like so obviously the only unfortunate thing is that I couldn't recreate the look of the camera, or like the Canon camera that Draken had, or like, used to have with the Sony camera, because you can just tell this one just looks a lot cleaner, and I think color wise it's not as dingy as the Canon. I tried to speak like how I did at this time 5 years prior, but I think I kind of lost it in the middle. And I just remember like when I was finished filming this batch of videos, like I remember Reagan like walking in the room. He was just really amazed about the fact that the table was clean, because I think it's because I had to clear his stuff off the table. because he still leaves his stuff on the table and such. But now, unfortunately, we can't recreate this set anymore because Draken took the monitors on his end. So this is, unfortunately, like, the Power 05 videos is going to be like the last you see of the original setup. Unless we decide to do the second original setup.
Rider Gaim and Kamen Rider Baron set from Kamen Rider Gaim. Says it.
Because, like, I even went through the effort of, like, going through, like, a voice tuner and, like, deepening my voice even more.
The left.
Not a voice tuner, but like a vocal shifter.
Both right.
But yeah, I can't really go through much because it's gonna force me to watch an ad. But the ending is obviously iconic. I at least want to show off the ending.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. So first round, get your go-to. Second.
So the ending was fun. Doing. Because obviously the canon had an issue of that for some reason when you record something for like longer than like it's supposed to, it starts glitching out or it starts cutting off audio. So this one I had to kind of improvise it and just kind of splice the audio of this section and rearrange it, slow it down, speed it up, and like just stuff like that.
And is that this is a pretty amazing. I really like versatile how.
And then I shaded. I added shade to the if you've actually read this, I added shade to the version 20 release of the Sengoku driver.
This is a pretty, amazing. I really like versatile how.
Because you can, if you read the statement of, I can say it, I can say pick it up while you can, as this has yet to be re-released in a good manner. Even though technically, again, this is in the prospect of 2015, this is not technically wrong because the Sengoku driver and the Genesis drivers were re-released. But obviously, I wanted to add shade against. Sorry, I wanted to add shade towards the version 20 re-release of the Sengoku driver because it's not good. However, we are getting a super best version of the Sengoku driver, but it's probably going to be super overpriced. 2021. Again, this is now the back half of the 2020, or like, so we just finished the anniversary now. So, what are the quality ups and what are the quality downs? Wow, so ironic that I get these comments. So, all right. This one again is kind of like the 2019 worst entry. This one's not even mine, but personally, I don't know. I just feel like I don't really strongly feel wronged with any of the 2021 videos, so I'm going to have to go with the CSM Ixa Belt and Ixa Riser opening. This is Dryken's video, however, I edited it. I think this one's just simply, yeah, that's fine, green. I think this one's simply, I think this one just simply should get the title just because, like, I was kind of just straight up being, like, a douche.
A mammogram.
I was kind of just like airing out so much on this video for like no reason. Because I was just mainly calling Drake and out about like getting it practically. And it's just kind of like, it's kind of uncalled for. And like I
This
don't
reminds
think
me of
yeah. Because like I think the big issue obviously is just like I mean, I think we still have this issue of like or like Drake and I still have this issue of just like he'll not air out something, but like, he'll say something incorrectly that makes me sound more defamatory than like how I said it. So I have to like come around and like verify or like, come out and clarify myself. That's basically what this was about cuz I was just like I was not like at this point I was just not having it with like gain like potentially like um I did not want to be not discredited, but like I didn't want to be like what is it? I didn't want to be gosh. I didn't want to be like I didn't want to be misrepresented. But I think the way I put this out was like really condescending because even I kind of knew when I was typing this out. I was like, I feel like this isn't right for me to do. So like, if I knew it was wrong for me to like
Observability goes
put it
way
out
beyond
then like it was probably wrong
dashboards
in
alone.
general.
It's about real-world impact.
But like, I mean, like overall, it was just more so because Draken didn't like. I mean, like, I think it's because at this point with this purchase, this is where I finally realized with how Tool Collectibles worked. Because he didn't really tell me how the deposit system worked. Because I thought we were getting deals by getting the deposits and that we were just paying an extra 35. But like obviously that's not how deposits work. You pay the other back half of the order alongside the additional $35 for shipping and such. So that's where I was kind of like frustrated with because then it was just like, oh, then I shouldn't have been blindly getting this stuff because we're not getting deals and such. That's why I was like, hey, maybe, I mean, that's why I was like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't keep this then. But like, he insisted on, like, well, then I'll just take it. And it's just like, okay then. Like, we could have easily just made our money back. Oh well. It's still, well, it's just sitting behind me with a stink bug carcass and the Flessel slot that you never bothered taking out. I think the phone's downstairs. Everything else is up here. Oh, whoops. So then that brings us to our best video. Which maybe I'll wait for green to come back. But like, like obviously this spell isn't bad. Like I think like the spell is not bad of itself, but it's just more of like if it was just more like if Striken was just more clear about me with how the entire deposit system worked, so then like
Olive
we
Garden
weren't just willy
Its
nilly
never-ending
buying
pasta bowl is
anything,
back. So first round, get a
I
favorite.
probably wouldn't have considered.
That's
Excuse me. I wouldn't have considered on getting this if I like knew, or if I was actually being told transparently like how it worked and such. But again, that's kind of my fault for just not really, I guess, putting it together. But what's everything seems good so far. Oops. Oh wait. So we still had that pop up chat. I'm going to check that pop up how this is sounding. Want to be gosh. I don't want to be not acceptable. That is just not acceptable at all. He should not. Testing, test. Okay. It sounds like I'm too quiet. So so yeah. The big issue too is that obviously it picks up anything you do on your head. So unfortunately, I apologize that you're hearing that. So the big issue too is that obviously it picks up anything you do. Unless so unfortunately, how's my mixer? You're hearing that. So the big issue too is that obviously it picks up anything you do. Unless so what is that? Oh, sorry. I forgot the desktop audio was on. Let me turn that off and hear this back. Okay, let's decrease the audio. Okay, I think I got my volume situation. I got my volume situated. Okay, I forgot to. Sorry. I did this presentation 2 days ago and I'm still unprepared. Anyways, best video of 2021. It's the introduction to Now Dash Rider with Monster Dash Rider. So I think I've already gone over this a lot. I went over this in a live editing session, but 20 like the latter half of 2020, like the alright for I think August and September of 2021 were rough for me because I was basically kind of restricted on being on working stuff due to a basement flood that we had at the end of July. So I couldn't do anything. So like I couldn't do anything creative for 2 months and such, and I was just like I want to work on something. And like the moment that I finally got the motivation back to like, okay, I'm going to work on stuff, I dropped my hard drive for the first 5 years of content and my schoolworks, which is why that really hit me hard. And like obviously I got or like, obviously it was like my fault completely. Like that's not gonna be a thing that I'm gonna poke or that I'm gonna like point at others because no, it was entirely my fault. So yeah, so I was again stunted again of like, well shoot, like my creative output is like now stunted again because we just lost our first 5 years. But then I when it became by October, I finally I finally got the push back to like just get out the videos that were filmed prior or filmed either prior or like some like the in between the downtimes of like situating the basement flood and then working or then like trying to get something out for the second channel because at this point so the second channel wasn't really that active in 2021. It got one video or it got like 2 videos, 3 videos I think prior. But then like I wanted something like kind of big or not big, but like just something like unique for like the return of content on the second channel. And originally this was a mini view, but I didn't watch anything. But I was just kind of like, well, all these songs have the same title. Let's talk about that. And this was like this day I had to wake up super early because my mom wanted me to help her with something. And it was like a 3 hour, 2 to 3. I think it was like a 2 hour drive back and forth. Or like no, not even 2 hours. Like an hour 45 drive back and forth. And like literally I was just kind of like jotting things in the notes app of just what to say and such. And like I ultimately got sent home because my mom didn't need my help at all or like it didn't it turned out like my mom didn't need my help. So she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna bring you back home, or I'm gonna take you back home because I got all these other people are gonna help me." So, and then like got I immediately when I immediately came back home, that's when I filmed uh these scenes. Which is why I'm dressed like that. Yeah, this is the part. This is the reason why my niece keeps watching this video. I think it was just those 2 parts. Those were the first things I filmed. I filmed those, then I put them in I transferred them. I did the voiceover, and then I spent like hours. I spent like 3 to 4 hours together doing the voiceovers and the visuals, and I got it out that same. I got it out. So I'm pretty proud of this video because it was kind of practically like from concept to finish. It was about 12 to 13 hours from like 6, because I think I got this out by like 7 p.m. So yeah, it was like 13 hours. And I think for what I was able to do, like, I mean, like, overall, it's just like, again, like, I think like the kicker is like, again, my niece really liked it, even though she didn't understand what I was talking about. She just thought it was funny of like me. She always references this part. She always references that to me. It's just like, okay. But yeah, I've said it before, but like, she's kind of the reason as to why I continued the series, just because like she enjoys watching those sections. But she still doesn't understand what the entire thing is about. So, and obviously that 2022, I think we were still kind of on autopilot. I will say, but however, I was I mean, I was supposed to finish college by then, but I struggled a lot from I struggled my struggles from 2021 continued into 2022. So speaking of college, our worst contender is Power Rare Decisive Trader of the Summer. I don't have any ill will against my class, the classmates that helped me with this project, but it's just more it was just more so like it's not I had so much compromises I had to meet just obviously because I had to meet a curriculum, and overall it was just more so like my instructors being like, "Hey, like can you like actually try to do something that isn't just clearly you trying to shove your own personal project into our curriculum?" But it was just more so because like I decided to make it a Power Writer project because they told me, or because my main instructor told me like, oh hey, like, you know, you can put it up on YouTube too, and it's like, oh, YouTube? Yeah, sure. Because the issue is that if I came up with any other project idea, I knew I wouldn't have been able to share it out because at that time I knew I can't, because I knew right away of like, well, I can't reveal myself yet because I have to wait 3 years from now. So like, and like at that time, it's just like I don't know anyone. Like, I can't like I don't know what thing I can do. Like, cause like the original plan for this project was actually a lot more simpler. I wanted to make it easy for everyone, so then they didn't have to think too much about it, and just so then it was easier for every party around ourselves. But they were not having it because they were like at least telling me like, hey, like at least try to make it like a standard structure, or like at least just like please just make it like I mean, first of all, I was obviously told like, hey, like tone it down on the references and such. Like no one's gonna understand what you're trying to reference. Like I had to so like obviously I had to water down everything and such. But also like the thing too is that like there wasn't even that much references. It was just more of like there's a quippiness to it. It was really quippy, and like it was like things went fast, but like also like nonsensical, and they didn't like that. They wanted it to be a lot more like straightforward and like to the point and such. because this was the original draft was quippy, but like it kind of led to nowhere, and it was just kind of like, oh, okay, and then it just moved on, such because again, it was supposed to be like really nonsensical. The original plan that I had come up with, that tonally it's supposed to be in line with like a hyper battle DVD special, where it's just like those things are just kind of filled with gags, and like I mean it still has a plot, but like it's mainly supposed to just be like oh, like let's make a pun on kangaroos, or no. It's just mainly just like, oh, look, we're in a silly situation, but like it still has things like, hey, we have to sell on this new form and this new toy and such. That was what I had in mind, but then they were like, hey, please go back and rewrite this. Like, not going to this is not going to cut it. But like at the end of the day, like it, it's not it's not necessarily as bad. Again, my sister keeps showing my niece this project, and it's like it's not really. I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's just not really edited well, because I actually had to take an extra few months to like edit this, because what's posted here is not what I got to showcase, because I wasn't aware that it took 12 hours to export, or to like the original edit took 12 hours to export, and like it or it was like more it took a lot longer to export. I'm like, what the heck? Because I finished it on time. Right? I finished it in the schedule I had, and I was planning on like, okay, we are going to spend the rest of this day letting this export and such. Unfortunately, the next morning it was still exporting, and like I had to like panic email my instructor of like, hey, like I'm so sorry about this. Like my project's done, but like it's still been exporting for over 12 hours and such. So I'm going to have to give you a screen recording of the final thing and such. And all I got was like, I mean, I got called, like, not like rudely called out, but like I got called out in or on the day. It was just like, hey, you can't do this for like actual clients and such. And I'm like, yeah, of course I know, because it was just more like it was just I got a like warning of like you should know, you should plan better or plan out better and such, so that you don't have this happen. But it was just more like, how was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know that this was going to take over 24 hours to export? And luckily with this edit here, it only took 4, because I actually started using LUTs. I had to make LUTs specifically. No, I used LUTs for this one because I originally did everything in the luminetry color, and like I think that caused a problem. So LUTs helped condense everything, or compressed everything down, which is why for the 2024 and 2025 videos, they each have their own luminetry color LUT, because it it's a lot more easier for Premiere to render that out, as opposed to strictly the luminetry color preset. We're not going to watch this. You technically should have seen some clips from Elda's interview last Friday, but our best video goes to Chap Dash Rider, or Chap Dash Power Rider. This one was also, this one couldn't. So Chap Dash Rider, Power Rider, or Chap couldn't get worked on because I was finishing Decisive Summer. That's what we're referencing to. Yeah. So I met that dead end because I had to work on Decisive Summer. So these two videos actually connect somehow, but Chap I think is just I just think is fun. It was fun kind of putting together, and like it's also just the randomness of it because it literally started. I didn't really know what the next topic was going to be after summer, and then I literally saw that video. I saw this video on the timeline, and I was like, I have to talk about this. Even though it's like at this point like 5 years old, 6 years old, 4 years old, and cause like that was really the premise. This was originally supposed to be called CFs, but I felt like that was like way too wide of a topic, and like I didn't have anything else to bring up because it literally was just that one. It was literally just this one commercial that I would like watch a lot. And I was like, or unless I wanted to bring up like the campaigns that like a lot of groups would have, like I think Big Bang had like a beer campaign. I know Infinite had a Pepsi campaign, like stuff like that. But like I didn't really have much, so that's why I had to let this rest. But then it like came to me of like, why don't we make the video about making the video? Because I think I didn't really have an ending to it. So it was just like, we got our video. We're gonna talk about the process of researching this video. It's kind of like meta. Man, I used to use this site a lot, but then I think it went down. Or no, I think they no longer can do YouTube videos. Yeah, obviously the Wendy. So at this point, obviously the whole joke of year one's entries is that we were going to include jump scares in non-Halloween videos. So this was kind of like the ever coming the encompasses of all of these jump scares, because this is literally done with me just screaming into the mic going ah, and then I made myself like ear piercing loud. That like I literally like I didn't do like an actual scream because it's like, well, I can just change it in post. But it was also just because it's like, I don't know, I felt like it's weird, obviously, but I was literally just trying to like reenact what was going through my head when I was searching through these. Well, obviously over dramatize it just for the sake of the video. And I added noise back. I added noise just in case I got claimed for this, to which luckily I didn't. But I just kept it for consistency. But overall, this is probably like my favorite entry within year one, just because it's like it's just more. It's like, oh, I didn't expect it to go like that. 2023. I would have to see like, okay, like I'll say 2023 was actually probably like the happiest I was in a while. However, that didn't really reflect in the videos. To like weirdly put it, because um I try to figure out what was the worst and best out of these was actually kind of hard, because I felt like all the videos were kind of middle of the road. So that was kind of a weird revelation I went through, because I was just like, what? I was really happy this year, or about the output of this year. So how do I not feel so strongly about either side for this year? Which is why the worst contender for 2023 is Bubble Dash Rider. Um, I think it was just mainly because I don't feel so strongly about this one, but I think I put this one here because um I had so much planned for this one. I think this is a good example of like I had so much planned, but it fell really short. Like the freak out section, I wanted. I mean, I personally, I wanted. That was definitely a section I wanted assistance on, because it was supposed to be like a full on freak out, like handheld, and such. Like, and like just like all out like freak out. But unfortunately, that fell flat. Yeah. So like the freak out section didn't really go how I wanted it. The ending did, cause like I had the ending plan. This got censored because we already showed it earlier. So it's not censored to like hide who it was. That was the original plan, but it ended up just being because we showed this picture earlier. But yeah, other than that, like this one was alright. Especially because year 2 severely was lacking. Because year 2 still isn't done. We still have like half of the entries to go through. But like, I mean, the issue too is that this was not supposed to be the final one of that year, because it was supposed to be followed up by another one. But I think that's when I started to feeling depressed again. So and also just because the winter, or it's because the weather was not cooperating, because the weather was not what I needed. It was mainly that. So um other than that, like I also just feel like the twist, just what, not the twist, but like the revelation of like this article just wasn't really well implemented. It feels kind of weird. It feels weird because I knew that I had to bring this up too. So it was this part and then the ending. But oh, which part was it? This part's funny because I wasn't even so I think okay, so I just did so I added that photo card to the back of my phone because Elf Rock told me to do so. And then like one of the first things or one of the only things he told me when he watched this video was like, he was like, dude, we can so obviously tell that you're trying to show off your photo card. It was like, I'll admit this was not really intentional, because I the way I'll interpret it is that I held it like this just to like make sure, like, hey, I need something to see on the viewfinder, because at this setup, the viewfinder is really dim because I have a lot of lights on me. So like, I think I mainly held it up. Like, it was mainly like, okay, let's hold this up, so then we know that the camera is like focused, but also so then I know where to look and such. But it just makes it so it kind of makes it like I'm clearly showing off the the phone case. I think we had that happen twice. Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. So it's just the photo card is just up front and center. So hilarious. But then moving on to best contender of 2023, the 10-year coincidental connection between Why So Serious and What's Your Name. This was a video I had planned since 2020, and I had to wait for 3 years to talk about it. I was so excited when I was actually able to finally sit down and like talk about this. It was a really random, yeah. So it was just, this is the start of like the Just Talks, or this is technically the start. But I also did this back to back with an MMPR video I did, or like the like baffling moments, like just moments that I thought were just baffling during my watch through of that show. But yeah, just this was just more so like I was just really glad to like finally speak up on this, because it was just something that like was not under my skin, but it was just something like I knew in the back of my head, like I have to make a video about this on the year and on the day. When I like discovered, like when I was going through 4 Minutes discography back during the final overview, I was I think it was worth the wait. What do we do for here? Okay. Yeah, at that time the mini view for Once and Always got released too. So like that was the thing. I was working on MMPR stuff, and then I got to do that video. So I felt like that was worth it. Now the reason why we're here. um yeah, the reason why we're doing this in the first place. 2024. It's probably it was probably like the second worst year. It was probably the worst year of the back half of, or this latter half of the channel. If 2017 was like pretty bad, this is kind of in the same levels as 2017's content and such. And what a better video to represent the worst of 2024 than the written review for Summon Ride. So this is considered this is considered the worst video of the year, because I think it was the worst one done ethically. Because I don't know if Green's still here. But basically this was okay, so basically this one was like Green, everyone tells me that. I'll get to it. But basically so Summon Ride was also, like, Summon Ride was just a thing that was kind of up in the air of like, hey, if we can do it, we'll do it. Because else then I had something planned for like the 5th written review. However, when when Dragon and I managed to secure Summon Ride in August, like the thing too is that in 2024, scripted content was not really in circulation on my end because obviously I was working on Power Order 10. So I didn't really have a lot in mind for written content. So basically it was really up in the air of what the 5th written review was supposed to be, because it was supposed to be the Ultimate Seiken set. But then that didn't really fall through until I made Green do it. Or until I had him help me. Or not help, but like I had him basically do it and such last month. Or like 2 months ago, basically. But so like I knew that like, or I think no, at that point too, I think I said this, or I said this originally. The original 5th written review was supposed to be the Flash Prism, but I knew at that point in 2023 that I had to hold over a lot of my premium stuff for the 10th anniversary. So I wasn't really given too much on what to do for the 5th written review. So I thought, oh hey, what if we just made 2 items? What if we did 2 separate items and just classify them as the 5th written review? Which is why prior you got the Red Velvet Cosmic Cosme version as the first half, and then this one being the second half. I feel like now I can probably explain as to why I don't really like this video, or why I have to consider this one the worst video of 2024, and it's what I said earlier. This one was just done ethically. I think it's just due to like how it was done ethically in the background. Because Green, be so due to my video schedule was really packed at this point because I was working on 3 big videos back to back. So I had to get Down Dash Rider done, and then I had to film the entirety of Arc. But then Arc had its own issues of where I wasn't getting things on time. Or like the things that I was supposed to get were not coming in. So like I had that to worry about. And then at that point too, I was asking people to be on board with Summon Ride because I for the chat, or for anyone that watches this, Green got invited on immediately because obviously at that point, Green got established within the series, and because of the fact this 5th written review, the 5th written review in general was supposed to tie up a lot of stuff because it was supposed to be, this was supposed to be the last like the last of like the of the last of like what I will call like the original like set of written reviews before what we got this year. So we were rounding up, so like it made sense to get Green on for it and such. And then Green gives me his stuff really quickly, and I panicked because it was like, oh shoot, we actually don't have anything done right now. So immediately after Green turned his stuff in, I immediately like ran downstairs and started filming things. So, in the ethics department, Summon Ride, I managed to rush Summon Ride in 2 weeks, non-stop, and with a lot of caveats between Draken and I. No, Green. This is not your fault. You turned it in when you were like you turned it in at an appropriate time. It was just more. It was more my irresponsibility of not actually getting things ready, because the original plan was that I was supposed to have already filmed Summon Ride stuff in the background during October and November, but then I got backed up with a lot of other project or not projects. I got backed up with a lot of other content that was going up at that time, and the second channel stuff. So, uh, like don't feel bad about uh rushing me and such, because it's not your fault. All of this is my fault at the end of the day. So basically what happened between I mean, I think we can publicly share this and such, but um so Zrykin was willing to Zrykin was originally supposed to be minimally involved with the process of working on Summon Ride. He was only supposed to just work he was only supposed to he was only supposed to film additional content. However, I was running through a lot of issues on my end for Summon Ride in terms of recording the footage. And again, my game got bugged to where I couldn't continue the story. So I told Zrykin that he had to be the one to finish, or he has to actually play through the game so then we can get that footage. To which um it was starting off fine until we were kind of hitting close to the deadline. Because Zrykin would only record 1 or 2 hours of footage, which wasn't bad, but it halted things because of oh shoot, we like I finished the sections of the overview of the actual products, and we just needed to talk about the game stuff. But the big issue too is that the writing process for this review was really bad, because it was not it we were writing it as we were going. so I'll write things that Zrykin will experience, and then I'll write my own experiences. And then it got to the point where I told Zrykin, because he had to record things by himself up to a certain point of hey, we need to record footage of us demonstrating the game or the co-op and such, and we did that. But it turned out that we ended up playing the entire game together, or the latter half of the game together. But that's where it got pretty bad between us, because of obviously Dragon would be ending up the Dragon obviously would not he ended up not having any time for himself, because of the fact that he knew that oh, right when I get home I have to go play Summon Ride, or chunks of Summon Ride and such. And in result, that's why in the latter half of the game, like a lot of that footage is unusable because it's him running into walls or getting himself killed because he'll end up dozing off in our recording sessions. And like I was trying to like make it more lively of like trying to have conversations with him during it, but like he clearly was just not engaged with it. And like when we finished the game, like he keeps telling me that like he regrets or not regrets, but like he doesn't really stand by this, but I think he's not. Okay. Like I feel like this is like a valid point that he brought up. Even though like he might disagree with it because of how I felt, but like he's not wrong about this either. But like he literally told me when like we finished because like we had to start cutting corners because we could not because we needed to get like at least finish the game. We were gonna try to finish all the missions, but like we just couldn't. So with our deadline. So he literally told me when we were at the credits of like, you know, maybe the footage would have been better. Maybe like this footage that we recorded would have been better if I didn't feel forced if I didn't feel forced with playing this and such. And like at that point it just made me like kind of reconsider like I mean like I wouldn't necessarily say that like soured the like rest of editing the video, but it just more so like it was more eye opening of like in the sense of like yeah, he's not wrong and such of like of how oh gosh of like how heinous of a sorry that you heard that of how heinous of a schedule this video was. Because I just want to say, like, I do appreciate all of the compliments I've gotten for this video and such. Everyone tells me, everyone tells me how much they enjoy this video and such. And I appreciate that. But I also just kind of need to say this too of, this video was just not done ethically correct. And I feel like that just kind of needs to be, like, out there and such. So, like, in a way, I do kind of disown this video. And it's also just because of, like, I mean, there's also, like, some stuff too, but, like, I appreciate the people that do enjoy this video, but I think it's just more, like, you should be, like, I feel like you should probably be aware, too, of just how unethically done this video was, too. Not necessarily to, like, sour, not to necessarily, like, sour, the enjoyment people got out of the video, but I think it's just to be more transparent about it because I feel like because that's exactly what I don't want to happen when I have people working with me. Like I don't want it to feel like people are forced. I don't want people to feel forced into working with me because of the fact that like you know of just because I wanted to get it out and such. Because it's more so, again, it's more so my irresponsibility of like, hey, I could have been working on this in the background alongside the other videos I was working on in the background too. So then it wasn't so cluttered, and so then it could have been a lot like because it doesn't really matter if it was taxing on me. It would have been just been more efficient of like working on like as opposed to working on 2 videos in the background, working on 4 or 5 and such. So then it could have been a lot smoother of a process. So then everyone felt more content with the final product, as opposed to now feeling like, oh, cool, you have. It's like, oh, cool. Like, I think this video is the prime example of, cool, I got it out, but at what cost? Because then on the flip side, the best contender for 2024 is D Dash Rider. This one is the prime example of why you should plan a video out months in advance and such. I've already talked about this one a lot, but D Dash Rider was basically the byproduct of how disappointed I was with Bubble Dash Rider. So, and like with the presence of I want a video from this series because this series started on Halloween. I want an entry that actually is attempting to be surrounding the holiday it lands on. So I picked an absurd topic, which is the diesel dress. It was originally supposed to be makeup, but I didn't want any of the connotations to be misinterpreted with makeup. So I decided to go with the diesel dress because it's kind of more dumb of a topic. Or it's kind of more, you can be more dumb about it and such. Or not dumb, but like, you can be more silly with like the events that surround it and such. So this one was planned. So this one was in the works since July of 2024. And this one, see, this one's the positive, like, what, this is the way you're supposed to, like, I think the way that Summon Ride should have been done. Of like, this one was given, D Dash Rider was given 4 months. And this one, again, was one where I wrote things as they went on. But, like, it was in a way where I actually had time to, like, actually think about it and, like, find a way to organize it. That wasn't the case with Summon Ride and such. Because, with literally with D Dash Rider, I just thought of something funny, and then I like had to find ways of linking that idea to another idea that already existed, which is why D Dash Rider is just kind of the absurdity of that one is just like, I mean, it does. The only thing about D Dash Rider is that it has a back and forth kind of narrative of like, hey, I don't actually want to do this anymore, but then something always pulls me back in. Like, it happens 3 times, which is kind of repetitive. But like, other than that, like, you know, I had an idea and I committed to it. And it's just one that, like, unlike Summon Ride, which is a disgrace, like, D Dash Rider was like something like I actually like fully enjoyed. Or like, I had fun, like, just with the stupidity of it and such. But yeah, this is like D Dash Rider is like definitely just one of my more favorable uh things I've like made. And honestly, I feel like I'm gonna say this here, but like I do recommend watching D Dash Rider for the case of tone. Or like the I feel like D Dash Rider is like basically like a good example of like I don't know. Like I don't know what example of, but like please like not please, but like this is like a black and white situation of like Summon Ride's what you should not get. And D Dash Rider is what like what things should be. and such. I there's so much I can talk. There's so much more I can talk about both videos, but yeah. And then, would you look at that? We got 2025. I wonder what I wonder what 2025 was gonna be, or what 2025 could present. But we, I mean, worst of 2025 is the Armor Hero coverage. Already, I'm choosing my entire month of Armor Hero as the worst. Um, these videos are really bad, which is really disappointing because obviously I wanted to try to invoke. I want to try to give awareness to the franchise. I've been wanting to do that since 2016. Or like, yeah, 24 not 2014. But yeah, Green, as I was telling you, like basically okay. I I mean, like, I don't know what your thoughts of my coverage of the line was, but like, my issues with this entire month of videos, or like with the reviews at least, is that they were way too long. I had way too much to speak on about, like, I only have I only have the summoning bell for Ray Thunder here as an example. This one should not be an hour long, but unfortunately, it is. But like my big like cuz I told Green about this during as I was in July when I was editing them, but these these videos are way too long. Cuz like that's why I brought up the that's why I brought up the comment when we were at Tro Dead Heat. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But basically I mean, I think I wanted to do the Armor Hero stuff earlier, but just because of how obviously just because of how scheduling is, I knew that I had to wait and such. But I mean the thing too, Green, is that I think well technically I mean again, you're not wrong that like other channels have already covered it, but I don't I because I can't even make the argument of like, well, like I'm technically the only English speaking channel that covered the other summoning card or the card holders for Ray Fernal and Ray Vortex and such, and like have covered the card packs. But again, it's in a technicality, it's just that doesn't really matter in the terms of an English speaker, because in general, obviously, all of the Chinese if you go on Chinese platforms, they've already covered this stuff. So, and again, it's just my videos were just kind of worse. Because well, where was I trying to go with before? But so yeah, again, because all of this was already planned since the beginning of the year, or the beginning of this year of I had to kind of I think it's kind of, well, I guess I can be open about this. Obviously July and August were the way they were planned were laid out were the way they were because I was working on Power Out of 10. So I needed to give myself that buffer period to get these stuff um to get this stuff up and running, but also so then I can actually but also so then I could work on CSM Gaim. But yeah, I I just feel like obviously I went overtly excessive in the details just because I feel like not a lot of people would, and just because of like again I really do want to give attention to this franchise because a lot of people aren't. Just obviously because of like they're going off of like you know they're going off of by like the words that they're that are obviously being like said especially with Star Ray and such. But like Green as in distribution, like you're talking about the toys, right? Like basically I cuz I don't think I got to that with I mean, I did kind of talk about it with the end of the Ray Vortex stuff, but that was before that we were official. That was before we were told that like, oh yeah, the whole yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. I agree. Or I mean, I you agree with me basically what I was saying about it. Yeah, because that yeah, the Ray Vortex resolution, not conclusion, was recorded before we were told, oh hey, Armor Hero for the time being is going to be put on hold as they're going to focus on their new franchise and such. Like, I mean, that's why we got Armor Hero Reborn, though, but. Or Rebirth, I think is its official name, but yeah, it's just. I kind of do want to do. So, I kind of want to do a video talking about the Star Ray toy line as a whole, or just talking about how much they fumbled a card gimmick because I think that's still frustrating. Because it's a card gimmick. All you need to do is put out cards, and yet they failed. They fell really hard on not doing that. So it's just it's just mind-boggling and such. But like it's not the end of like obviously there's Armor Heroes will still get toys, but not of like obviously we're still only gonna get toys for like the first two shows. And maybe Lava. But like Captor, Hunter, and Star Ray are not gonna get any more toys. Unless Star Ray gets a season 2. I think apparently the designs have been done, but Aldi does not Aldi is gonna I think gonna hope that so to basically summarize this, season 2 is not happening yet because Aldi does not want to no longer wants to work with Hero Box because Hero Box has been the production company from the Hero Box has been the production company for Armor Hero since its inception. It was practically the reason why the franchise existed because beforehand um the franchise so the franchise was not originally called Armor Hero, and it was solely only so it was more in line supposed to be like Kamen Rider, with it only being one titular hero. That titular hero being Dragon Man. They filmed 4 episodes and it went bankrupt. Hero Box swooped in and saved it, but they also um they commissioned 4 more uh suits because they wanted to elevate from what Kamen Rider was doing. Because they're like, hey, we should make the appeal, we should make the heroes the actual appeal, so then we can sell more toys. So that's where Eel Man, Rhino Man, Massive Man, and Tiger Man came from. And I think because of that, that's where they threw together Emperor Hero. because they're like, oh, look, we got a hero that's the accomplishment of all 5 elements and such. But like so that's why the copyrights for Armor Hero is kind of weird, because Aldi owns Dragon Man, but Hero Box owns the rest of the suits and such. That kind of thing. And then like obviously since I think since Hunter, there's just been production issues with the franchise, and Star Ray was kind of like the last straw because of because of its post production being really bad. As it's already been shown, which is why Armor Hero Rebirth was kind of, I think, made strictly only from Oldie, no input from Hero Box, as a way to like regrace confidence in the franchise of like, look guys, we can make competent projects. Just believe in us and such. And show you we will show you we will continue keeping this franchise alive no matter what rights issues comes our way and such. But yeah, I don't think we will get another show until Hero Box basically falls apart and Oldie slash Alpha reclaims the rights back. So then they can do it in house as opposed to outsourcing it and such. But yeah, then that means for our best, what we can consider our best video of 2025 so far. Uh-oh. I don't know. We got nothing because the year's not done yet, and honestly, it's just kind of because I don't think this year has any contenders, honestly. This year, I feel like I'm going to have to. This year, I definitely going to have to sit down and try to figure out what is considered, what I'll consider the best, but so far, nothing's been striking. Everything's just been kind of coasting through and such. Because again, like was said, it's a lot more harder to come up with. This list was a lot more harder without the video edits. But at the same time, too, we need to wait for the next 2 months of content. So, yeah. So yeah, that would be the end. But, however, there is one last segment that I wanted to do and such, but before I do that, let me just double check the audio. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. So yeah, just this section is just general updates in regards to stuff, especially from the last entry. Not the last entry, but like the last update that I did at the end of September. To which I want to talk about work. I want to talk about what we have secured so far for our coverage of Armor Hero Lava. So, this is again going to be the last month on the main channel and such. To which the way we have it organized here is that the first section is going to be of what we have already recorded for the in terms of intro, not for the actual thing because I can't yet. So we have the Atlas Summoner and the Energy Keys variants. We have the intros for those already filmed. That was in September. This is the Atlas Summoner is of the 2024 re-release of the toy, where it actually is painted close to the prop, and the variant keys they are just variant keys. I'm not going to try to get into details about that, but again, if you couldn't tell, I have proof that I have these. These are recorded. Alright, the intros at least. Oh, oops. The intros have been recorded. This is what we have secured so far. So, can I use the laser pointer? Okay. It's not going to break. So, this is so both of these are called, like, they start with super. So this is the super lava summoner. I'm hoping this is a version released before 2025, because that would be bad. So I got a loose version, and I'm hoping it's of the original one. I have the energy key set for lava, Armor Hero Lava. Then I got secured the Super Tetra Belt, the 2024 re-release of this one, and of the Tsunami Energy Key set. Now, well, this one here is a secret one, but if you can't tell from the silhouette, I'm not going to reveal what this one is, because this one actually pushed back one that's actually in the next slide. And then this is of the RX edition of the Lava Summoner, which is adjacent to a Premium DX release. Because then, what we have on this last slide is our last two contenders. So, so this one got confirmation of it being shipped. This is the Super Techno Summoner of Armor Hero Techno. And this one is still in the queue, or it's not in the queue, but this one still needs to move out. But this one's been causing a lot of issues. The Tornado Energy Key, the Armor Hero Tornado Energy Key set. This one's causing issues. This one's been having issues because the price got pushed severely. Because earlier in the year, this was only about $15. It got pushed. It got pushed to like $30 plus dollars. So it's been really hard to find one for a decent price. I got one for an alright price. It's not good, but it's more so I'm hoping with a medium price range, I can at least secure it. I'm hoping it moves through though, but I doubt it is going to. So then, the schedule, I was going to lay it out by like schedule, but then I thought it would have been easier to organize it like this, just so then it was really obvious of what I have in hand, what I have in the warehouse, what's coming to me, and what's getting shipped to the Super Buy warehouse. Or this one, the Techno Summoner is getting shipped. The Tornado key set's still on standby. So the plan is that the schedule for this is going to be weird. Because... Sorry. The plan, obviously, is that we are going to do a mixture of normal reviews and written reviews. Because, well, this is only for the reviews, though. Because I really don't want to have 2 written reviews back to back. Because that just seems really messy. So, for Monday through Wednesday, we are covering... So, Monday through Wednesday for week 1 of Armor Hero Lava, we are covering the Super Lava Summoner, alongside the Lava Energy Key set, the Super Tetra Summoner, and then the Tsunami Key set. Because then the Friday would be... So, for the sake of the demos, Friday would be following with the Tornado Armor Energy Key set. But for the reviews, we will have a written review of the Lava Summoner RX, or the RX Lava Summoner. And then the next week will be the Tornado Key set, the Techno Summoner, the Atlas Summoner, then the Energy Keys, the individual Energy Key sets. Because then that Friday, then the following Friday for week 2 will be of this super secret product that you can't see. The only hint I'll give about this product is that it got released earlier this month. So the written review for this product will be like the most current roleplay Armor Hero item. And then the demos will be of the Lava Summoner, and Monday through Friday, the Lava Summoner, the Energy Key set, the Tsunami Summoner, its Energy Key set, and then the Friday being the Tornado Key set, making that then the Techno Summoner the following Monday, alongside the Atlas Summoner, the Energy Keys, the individual Energy Keys, and then the 2 written review products being back to back for the demos and such. So that is what... I'll back up. So that is what I have planned for December. I think I'm still trying to figure out what to do for the last week. Because I think for the last week, we should finally get an unboxing, a quote-unquote monthly unboxing, and a spectacular. Because those have been absent for the entire year. So, you should be able to get those now. Or hopefully they come out by the end of the year. But, however, obviously there will be an end of the year update on the 31st. So I think for the last week of December, we're not going to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I think we're just going to do the 29th, 30th, and the 31st. So then the 29th will be the maybe. I think actually, yeah, first you need the monthly unboxing first for context for the unboxing spectacular. So the 29th will be the monthly unboxing. the 30th will be the unboxing spectacular, and then the 31st will be the end of the year update. In the meantime, obviously, hopefully, Saturday and Sundays are on the second channel will be Power out of 10 and such. But yeah, I've been technically going on for 3 hours. Unfortunately, this has been going on for 4 hours, just because I had the first half hour. I had to help out with, I had to help with something, so that should be fine now. But yeah, thank you to everyone that showed up, especially to you, Green, and Dark Barcode Warrior. Anyone else that comes by to this and such. I am. Excuse me. I am. Next month should be an unboxing, live unboxing, a live unboxing because of the fact that I need to ship the lava stuff out. So, uh, it's not gonna be a good price because of obviously tariffs, but it's what we kind of it's it's what it's reasonable. It's not real reasonable, but it's like it's doable. It's not nasty, but like it's more so like I'm doing this for the sake of coverage, or like, I want to show off. Uh, thank you, Green. But like I obviously want to at least have a full coverage of an Army Hero line because again, Star Ray we technically did, but it needed to be accompanied by other entries from the franchise. And again, Lava got skipped in our initial Army Hero coverage because of this. So, or because of the fact that I wanted to cover the line. I think I had plans on it being in September, but I knew that wasn't going to fly through, which is why I had to do those written reviews and such. But again, thank you for everyone coming here at a short notice. I'm going to finally eat now. And end broadcast.